It's a beautiful day up here in Maine. Decided to make a video outside again. I still can't upload the fucking top 10 overlooked wrestlers of all time, so I'm just probably going to remake the video. I don't know why the fuck it's not uploading. See, I'll make this one, and it's fucking 68 degrees out here in Maine right now, and it's fucking 6 o'clock at night. Can't ask for a fucking better day than this, boys and girls. So, here we go. I'm going to have another top 10. I'm going to upload this one too. Fuck it. Make some videos today, you know what I'm saying? Made a top 10 earlier. Make another top 10. Top 10 worst presidents ever, according to me. Smoke break. You can even know my real first name if you hit on Crazy Stories Part 1. But it'll be about my friend Newish in college who says my name. If you're that interested, if you're fucking that stalkery. But whatever. You will learn my first name if you hit that video. Anyway. Top 10 worst presidents of all time. A little bit of a breeze up here, so I got it written down on paper. Whew. Number 10, Nixon. Went off the gold standard, did a bunch of other shit. He got fucking impeached. Probably should have. Number 9, LBJ. The war on poverty is a dismal failure, and the Vietnam War was also a dismal failure. Number 8, I might get some shit for. A lot of people revere this gentleman. He may even be like number 10, but I put him at number 8. He did inherit a kind of all the way on its way to the crescendo of what his presidency was going to be about, but he did a horrible job in preventing it. And that is Abraham Lincoln. That's right, I said it. Abraham Lincoln is the number 8 worst president of all time. Reason? He led to 620,000 American deaths because of the Civil War. That's 424 deaths a day, 18 deaths an hour, and 1 American death every minute and 29 seconds. Less than 2% of Americans owned slaves at the time. It was already a dying institution. Was not all his fault. During another presidency, which he is higher on the list, the British and French actually inflamed the South with propaganda and bullshit. But Lincoln just did a horrible job in fucking handling it, and it was pretty bad. Basically, if you don't know this, the British and French infiltrated the South to inflame the South, to cause the Civil War, so they could later split the South between the two of them and install puppet leaders. Much like I think the British called it the Great Game. They were going to use the Great Game on the South. And Lincoln did a horrible job in preventing this, and probably helped them, sadly enough. But some things that the British and French were not counting on, the British royal family, as well as the French royal family, Napoleon, and there was still some leftover Jacobins like there are today. The Jacobins, if you don't know, are the Illuminati. They started the Illuminati. They are the Jacobins. So, basically, they weren't counting on Grant and Sherman's brutality and just flat-out fuck you strategy of the North. They did a really good job. They actually got Russia, surprisingly enough, to stop the armaments coming from the French and British to the South. The Russian Navy actually helped the North. They don't get any credit for it. We don't talk about it. And also, Russia said that they weren't going to help unless Lincoln put that they were going to abolish slavery, because the Russian Tsar abolished slavery in his country, or peasantry, or whatever the fuck they called it. They had like a different name for it, I think. So, also, Maine, the state I'm from, held the hill at Gettysburg with Commander Chamberlain, who went on to be our governor. It's never a good idea, boys and girls, to take on Mainers that have a high ground with rifles and bayonets. Never turns out good for them. So that's number 8 worst president of all time, Lincoln. He did kind of realize his blunder and tried to create the greenback. Then he got popped by Booth, if you remember. The greenback was to prevent the French and British Jacobin Illuminati royal family bullshit to control our currency. So he created the Lincoln greenback. Then all of a sudden he got popped, right? Okay. 7. That was their pivot after they lost, okay? It's a pivoting strategy. They're like, okay, we lost, so we're going to try this now. Lincoln saw it coming and blocked it. So good for him. He's still number 8 on the list as the worst president of all time. 620,000 American deaths. Unacceptable. Number 7 is Jackson. He had the March of Tears. That's just an unacceptable moral and ethical, we can't fucking do that. He has to be on the list. Number 7, although the reason he's not higher, he did block the British and the French from attempts to control the American currency. So, he did do that. FDR, he even talked about how they were planning on assassinating him, the bankers and all this, because he was blocking them. Number 6, might get some shit for this one too. FDR. In 2011, there was a memo released that showed that the Navy and War Department, as well as FDR, knew Pearl Harbor was going to happen before it happened. This was a result of siege warfare. They were blocking a lot of a trade war with Japan because Japan was being assholes to China and other things. But basically, the conspiracy goes that he let it happen so they could enter the war to help Churchill fight Hitler. I mean, you can judge either way. I would say there is probably a better way to enter the war than to fucking let Pearl Harbor get bombed and let all those young men, die in a horrible bombardment by Japan. So that's why I put him at number 6 on the list as the worst president of all time. Gotta hurry up. 5, James Buchanan. He was the president before Lincoln. This guy I was talking about before. He basically set the way for the Civil War, allowing the French and British to infiltrate the South, inflame the South. He did nothing about it. He was an idiot. Andrew Johnson. He had no ability to heal the country after the Civil War. He was unelected. He was a vice president. He wasn't ready to be president. He was an imbecile. Barack Obama, idiot, forcing people to buy overpriced health insurance instead of racial unity, which was basically why people elected him, show everyone we weren't racist. Instead, he's divided the country on race, almost as bad as it was in the late 50s and early 60s. Number 2, George Bush. Couldn't protect America pre 9/11. He was the Bin Laden construction family put AC units into American military bases in the Middle East. You can't tell me they fucking didn't know where Osama bin Laden was. There was even, I think, Colonel Schaefer came out, and he had his unit had fucking Freudian slip, Osama in his sights. Fucking, he got overruled by higher-ups in the Pentagon not to take Osama out. Bada bing, bada boom. William Cooper, look it up, predicted 9/11. Alex Jones predicted 9/11. What happened? 9/11 happened. Fuck George W. Bush. Number 1, Woodrow Wilson. He signed the Federal Reserve Act into law, signing away American sovereignty on their economy and American sovereignty on their currency to a private entity controlled by people that the American public isn't allowed to know. And that is why Woodrow Wilson, in my opinion, is the worst U.S. president of all time. It's been smoke break. I'm down to the butt. If you like my channel, subscribe, thumbs up, share on Facebook, share on the Twitter, leave a comment or something. I think one guy called me a drooler. Fucking, I don't give a fuck. Troll my channel. I don't give a shit. It's been smoke break. Have a good night.